I'm 14 years old. I teach in class 5. I want to say thank you for my sponsor. My name is Sarasika. I am 2 years old. I read in class 4. Thank you my sponsor.
So the topic is making class.
My first visits to Nepal some 12, 14 years ago were in the realm of addressing medical needs, and I was volunteering at a hospital. And it was during these visits that I befriended a little girl, my wife and I. My wife was with me then. And we put her in a school, a boarding school, and 3 years later she showed tremendous improvement, progress. And we decided to expand with other children and having them be sponsored by friends. And lo and behold, before you know it, we've snowballed into an organization some 6, 7 years later of over 400 students in 100 schools and colleges from one end of the country to the other.
We are proud of students of Oklahoma. Yes, last year we had 17 students graduate. Among them, 2 students passed in distinction, 10 students passed in first division, and 5 students passed in second division. Almost of our students of Oklahoma are doing very well. They are doing very well.
When you're working with indigent children from very deprived backgrounds, both parents are illiterate, they may come out of the slums or rural villages where capital is non-existent. These children have nothing going for them. And what we have done from the outset is to give them as much education as possible, intensive tutoring and so forth from the get-go. And after about a year or two, they're flying. The biggest obstacle they have is learning English, because they're going to English-speaking schools.
I think the decision to send a child that we had no knowledge of on the other side of the world was a fairly easy decision. When you look at the wealth that America has, and my wife and I had visited several poor countries in the Central America area, the opportunity to give a child an education that wouldn't get a shot was a very easy decision.
We have been sponsoring Sandeep and Asta since 2002, I believe it's 5 years now. And they are, as you said, polar opposites. Sandeep comes from the country and is an only child and is a boy, very young. And Asta comes from Kathmandu, and she was in the 7th grade, I believe, when we started to sponsor her. The reason we decided to sponsor a child in the country was because we felt that he's a son, the only child, and the family's hopes were pretty much tied to him. And so we felt that due to his family circumstances, the father being ill and the mother only able to do menial labor, we felt that we might be able to help him make a difference. He was 2 years behind. 2 years behind in school. He hadn't started yet, and he was 8 years old, so he's come a long ways. Asta, on the other hand, was a very bright, happy, outgoing person that had been going to school. But due to her family circumstances, with a younger brother needing medical attention, she would not be able to continue school. So we were very happy to be able to step in and help there.
It's just different from, say, writing a check for flood relief to the Red Cross or any other worthy agency. It's just nice to know that there's that one person that you know. And besides that one person that one helps, you think of all the other people in that person's life, his family. I mean, if Omkar gets an education and is able to get a good job, he helps sustain his family. And Omkar gets married, and Omkar raises children. Omkar will probably raise his children to value education. So even though we're writing a check to support one person, I see a snowball effect that's very rewarding.
So when I sponsor a child in Nepal, I don't think it lessens what I do here in the United States. It to me is just part of growing a global community, which I firmly believe is where the world belongs and the only thing that will save us.
It's interesting when you talk to the sponsors, they're so very proud of their children, how well they're doing and how they struggle and overcoming odds and so forth. And that's a great story in itself. But each of these children is just a part of the real transformation that we will see in a generation. So I am hopeful. I'm encouraged with everything I see, feel, and witness happening in Nepal from our side, from the students. The schools are very supportive. They provide us with discounts, give us the oversight we need, inform us when children are in trouble, and provide tutorials and day boarding and so forth. So I think we have been able to overcome a lot of the barriers and provide a flying wedge for these children in helping them to achieve their hopes and dreams.